said, why do you need my passport? And they said, I can't give you a visa if you don't give me your passport. So I said, what, Miss Virginia changed her mind? And they said, no, she has gone to America for vacation.
Hi, this is Congressman Shri Thanedar. I represent Michigan's 13th district in the United States Congress. I am on YoIndiaTV and look forward to meeting and reaching out to all of you.
Hello everyone, we have Congressman from Michigan, Shri Thanedar, right here with us for Americans4Hindus fundraiser in California. Welcome sir to YoIndiaTV with me Jasleen Khanuja. And how's the feel here?
It feels good. I'm seeing a lot of people interested in our national politics. As you know, we just passed the debt ceiling bill in Washington, D.C. So with that, we are going to be able to protect our jobs and we're going to be able to protect our economy. So if we had not passed that bill, America would have defaulted and would have caused a lot of economic damage. So I'm really excited. We just finished voting on that on Wednesday.
This is Congressman Shri Thanedar reporting to you from the steps of U.S. Capitol. In about 60 minutes or less, I will be voting yes on the bipartisan debt ceiling agreement. With this, we will ensure that America will not default on its obligations. We will ensure that we pay our bills. And this will ensure and will tell the world that the world can trust America's economy, America's dollars.
Awesome, that's really needed.
Yeah.
Because every time we are crossing the ceiling and it's, I don't know where it will lead US to be.
Yes.
But in your opinion, is there a way to have a fiscal policy that can limit the debt?
Yes, again, we have to be cost conscious. At the same time, we have to provide services that people need. A rich country like ours, we need to cover everybody on health care. Nobody should have to worry about health care because of their financial status. We need to make sure that nobody lives below the poverty level. We need to give good education to our kids because through good education, they are going to get a better life and better future. So I'm focusing on economic empowerment. I'm focusing on small businesses, people to start their small businesses, getting capital. So currently as a congressman, I serve on the Small Business Committee and I also serve on the Homeland Security. So my responsibility is to make sure home ownership and business ownership is accessible to all Americans.
I represent Detroit, state of Michigan. Many of the residents in my district, average typical annual household income could be as low as $25,000, maybe as high as $45,000. So people are struggling and they haven't seen, many of these families haven't seen the benefit of the wage increases depending on the type of work that they do. But they are experiencing the same inflation as everybody else.
That's pretty awesome. We have quite good representation. You being there on such committees, really wonderful. So being an Indian American, being from a small place from Karnataka, I'm sure there would have been multiple challenges in being risen to this position.
Yes.
It's a long journey, I know, and especially the area that you're representing, which is more focused on our Black American community.
Yes.
So what were the challenges being from a different race?
Well, what was so important was that people understand my background. I grew up in poverty. So I had to struggle, work hard, get education, lift my family out of poverty through, I started a small business. And that is what we need to make accessible. People should be able to be financially independent, start their own businesses, own homes, because through home ownership, through business ownership, we can really create net worth for communities that have been historically marginalized, as communities, the black and brown communities that we have seen.
Growing up, when my father lost his job, 6 sisters, a brother, and we had tough times. When I first came to the United States, I had no place to sleep. I had a car that I had bought for $200, and I lived in that car. I ran for state rep because working people have been ignored. The economic gap between rich and poor continues to increase. I have experienced the stigma of poverty firsthand, and that's what motivates me to go fight for universal health care. That's what motivates me to go to Washington, D.C. and work on eliminating the wealth disparity. When I'm in Congress, I want to work to make sure that no one controls the woman's body other than herself. I want to fight to ensure every person has the freedom to vote. I'm fighting for racial equity, economic equity, and social justice.
Namaskar, we have the chairman of Americans4Hindus, Dr. Romesh Japra, and supporting him is Chandru Bhamra. Welcome both of you to YoIndiaTV, and it's always a pleasure to be meeting you and supporting the great candidates that you are supporting and doing fundraising for. Today we have Shri Thanedar from Michigan. Tell us a little more about this event.
Absolutely, Jasleen. First of all, namaskar to all YoIndiaTV viewers out there. It's a great pleasure to talk to you all the time. Like Jasleen said, Americans4Hindus. See, this is the organization which is totally political empowerment. So we've had a lot of cultural, religious, spiritual, economic, so many other organizations, professional organizations, but there's none out there which is really totally political. And the time has come for Hindu Americans and Indian Americans to really empower themselves politically as well. We have great scientists, doctors, businessmen, professors, and all kind of researchers, but not too many politicians out there who take care of our community. I think that is what we are looking for, and that's why persons like Congressman Thanedar, who's come all the way from Michigan to meet us, and we've had good dialogues with us. We're trying to put together Hindu caucus. He's going to be a co-founder for us, and we're going to go to Washington, D.C. on the 14th of June. Over there, right on the Capitol Hill, we have rooms where we'll have a Hindu American summit for political engagement. So this political engagement is a new mantra which is very important for our community. What is happening in California over here after the Cisco case, now they have this discrimination. They want to add caste into the discrimination thing, which is totally profiling us, really putting us separate, isolating us as Hindus, and we don't want our next generations really get socked down and demeaned out there. That's the reason we have become very active politically, and that's why we have Shri Thanedar with us.
What's the best thing that you have liked about Shri Thanedar?
Whatever I came to know a few days back, he has come from rags to riches. Like I read some stories about him. It was a very downtrodden community in that area. From that area, he was rejected. His visa was rejected to come here for 5 times.
And I was 24 years old. I had a bachelor's in chemistry. I had a master's in chemistry. And I got admission for PhD program at University of Akron, Ohio. That was the center best known for polymers, if some of you know. And so all I had to do now is go to the American Embassy. And back in those days, you have to go and stand in line as early as 5 a.m. So I don't know if some of you may remember. You stand in line 5 a.m. so you get your number. My number got called at 11 o'clock. And there was a window, and across from the window was this white American lady. Her name was Virginia. And so Virginia asked me a lot of questions. I studied in Marathi medium and I can barely speak English. I didn't speak English before I was 20 years old. So she asked me questions. I could hardly understand some of her talk. And after the interview was concluded, she just put a stamp on my application saying visa rejected. And that really crashed all my dreams. That's what I needed to do. And I've never done this before, never happened to me before, but I fell down to the ground. I completely lost conscience. Never happened to me before in my life. And when I gained consciousness and I opened my eyes, Virginia was standing right next to me with a glass of water. She had come out of her window and brought a glass of water, but no visa. So now I will not get another interview opportunity, but I can submit my papers again with more documents. So that's what I did, second time. So you give the papers in the morning, they say come back at 4 o'clock. So I went at 4 o'clock and I got this letter on top of my papers that said visa rejected with Virginia's signature, very familiar. Got more documents next time and submitted my visa papers for the third time. Same thing again, she rejected my visa. So fourth time I wrote to my professor that I need your support and letter. So my professor writes a letter. This was in 1978. Back then he says that I need this student, we are doing research on electric batteries. And his expertise is needed for me to do this research. So I need him. I thought that letter would help. So I attached that letter and gave it to them in the morning. I come at 4 o'clock and I see again the same thing, a stamp saying visa rejected, fourth time. Now I'm unemployed, I'm really struggling here now. And another 2, 3, 4 weeks go by and I had nothing new to give Virginia. But I took the same papers that she rejected and gave it again for the 5th time in the American embassy. So they said, come back at 4 o'clock, and I go there at 4 o'clock and they say, give me your passport. And I said, why do you need my passport? And they said, I can't give you a visa if you don't give me your passport. So I said, what, Miss Virginia changed your mind? And they said, no, she has gone to America for vacation.
Your state, particularly the city of Detroit, has been conventionally known for being a car manufacturing city. You know, It's one of the things that US always has been proud of, because manufacturing is on the lesser side in US and it has shifted more to China, India and other Asian markets, right? So now that it's the era of electric vehicles, especially with the, coming up of Tesla. Sorry, I'm naming one of the companies which is more popular, I believe, here in California at least. So what's your take on continuation of a great build from the car manufacturing perspective?
Well, again, we need to take the leadership in manufacturing, whether it's manufacturing science and chips, whether it's manufacturing automobile, we have the highest level of innovation in America. And using our innovation and using our business skills, we need to excel in auto manufacturing. We need to excel in chip manufacturing. We need to innovate and excel in pharmaceuticals. So we need to regain not only our innovation edge, but we also need regain manufacturing edge, because through manufacturing we are going to protect workers' jobs. We're going to protect union jobs. We are going to be able to provide good living wages, good work conditions to the workers of America.
I agree with Shri because he has a plan that'll create jobs.
Giving tax breaks to corporations has not worked. We need to use those tax dollars to provide job skills to Michigan workers.
I'm sure District 13 is really lucky to have a congressman like yourself. But hailing from India, and I believe you are also a Hindu.
Yes, yes.
So what does it mean to you when this PAC called Americans4Hindus is now supporting you as well?
Well, I am very appreciative of the community. There are a lot of success stories. These are all immigrants. We are a nation of immigrants. And I met today many immigrants who have excelled in medicine, excelled in academia, and their contribution to America. We are a nation of immigrants, and the contribution that we have seen from Indian Americans is I appreciate that, and I applaud their patriotism and their work ethic and the skills and what they have done to contribute. And now I'm also appreciative their involvement in the political process. Not only immigrants need to focus on economic empowerment, but also we need to be part of the mainstream. And I am a business person. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I got a PhD in chemistry. When I first came from India, I was 24 years old. I got a PhD in chemistry, and then I started small pharmaceutical innovation businesses. We invented new technology, and I created lots of jobs in America, over 500 jobs in America. And at one point I felt that I have achieved a lot of success in the business world, and I've achieved my American dream, but it felt like many Americans don't have access to their American dream. And knowing that, I decided to sell my business, give many of the profits and sell proceeds. I distributed that to many of my employees, and then I decided to run for public service. And through public service, I feel I have a chance to give back to this great country of ours. Through public service, I can help others achieve their American dream.
Wow, that's really remarkable. And for the benefit of the viewers, may I tell, he is the 5th person of Indian origin who is active in politics and is at the congressional level representing Indian Americans and everybody else from Michigan at the Congress. So thank you so much. What's your final message to all the viewers of YoIndiaTV?
I think we just have to, we love America. This is a great country. This is a country of immigrants. We have been very successful. Many of the community members have been very successful in academia, have contributed to science and to business and to learning and education. In a similar way, I would like people to be part of the mainstream politics, focusing on issues that are important to all Americans, and giving back to this great country of ours.
So, we are in June 2023 now. What are the new candidates this year that Americans4Hindus as a PAC has chosen to support so far?
Well, we are in the process right now, and we have our own criteria. Basically, they have to be Hindus or pro-Hindus, and we have our own agenda, basically Hindu phobia, anti-Hindu hate, education, immigration. So it's going to be a long process. I can't give you the names who's going to be there. It's a litmus test. We're starting the Hindu caucus, see those who can join that, and from there we'll go onwards.
Thank you, Dr. Japra, for keeping alive Indian culture, Hindu culture and heritage right here in the heart of Silicon Valley. I think the entire city is proud of you. Lily May has also been giving out Hindu proclamations and recognizing the Hindu heritage with the help of Dr. Japra and Chandru Bhamraji and the whole community. So thank you for your great contributions to the community. We truly appreciate your support and great work.
Thank you. We just Karyakarta, we just activists. We love community work. This is our passion. That's why we get along so well. Thank you.